welcome to Card Share, my interpretation or some interpretation of cards from the Hero Arts December 2017 My Monthly Hero Kit. Excuse me. The theme was kind of a Arabian Nights sort of, with this gorgeous large 6x8 stamp set with various things to build a scene over or on the desert. I went with one of the add-on sets, which was this Make-A-Wish genie stamp set with the man and the woman and several sentiments in a beautiful scripty font and the matching dies that went with this. So the kit also came with, as you know, because I've done the unboxing, some lovely inks and a stencil, which I've put to good use. So I made 10 cards using this kit. I've already given one of them away because I was in need of a birthday card. So here we are with 9 cards that I have done to go with this kit. Some of them are not too different from each other. This one I've heat embossed with the sentiment, "I could never wish for a better friend," with the genie. And I did do matching envelope art to go with each of the cards. I just stenciled on some color and a little heat embossed sentiment on the back of each envelope. This is propped up with foam. I've got a layer of fun foam underneath here, and the little genie is held up with some foam dots and glue. I've dry embossed the background paper. The coloring is all with my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, and I've decided to use Nouveau drops instead of the little gems that came with the kit, because I like my Nouveau drops a little bit better. So here's this guy. And then this is the sentiment, "You're all I wish for." Same thing pretty much. We've got Nouveau drops, heat embossed sentiment. I've actually treated the tag here with some of the Sunapee shimmer spritz, so we've got just a little bit of shimmer in there as well. Propped up with a little foam. The background I inked myself with the inks that came with the kit. And then of course the matching envelope. Another genie. Same thing, dry embossed background. Same thing, just different variations. This is the sentiment, "Wishing you a magical birthday." Okay, now moving on to the outdoor scenes. I'd cross the Sahara for you. These are all top folding A2 note cards. We have a camel on the desert, and I stamped with some VersaFine black ink some silhouettes of palm trees in the background. And I did have to fill in just a little bit because this is actually, I fussy cut the desert scene out and I glued it on top of my hand inked night sky here. And when I stamped it, there was a little bit of a gap in between where the papers meet. So I just took a little black marker and just filled in just a little bit. So when you see that, it just has a little bit of black marker. I've stamped palm trees in most all the ones to come. So I have the sentiment propped up with a little foam tape. I've heat embossed the moon. There's a couple of white jelly stars and of course some silver Nouveau drop stars on here as well. I love this little camel. He's super cute. I did not have a lot of fun coloring him though. My shading on camels needs some needs some work, but he is really cute and I'm happy with this card. This is on black glitter paper. I've mounted it on black glitter paper. And then this one here, this was actually the first one that I made. Let's Fly Away. More or less the same thing. I inked and fussy cut the desert background and mounted it, foreground and mounted it onto the hand inked background. We have a couple of palm trees that I've stamped on. The sentiment on that homemade glitter paper using the shimmer spray, which is heat embossed moon, gel pen stars and Nouveau drops, and we have the man and the woman on a flying carpet. I had a hard time with the carpet on this one as well. I had all these ideas to do it, and then when it went to actually pull it off, I couldn't remember what I wanted to do for the carpet, so I just went with some very basic coloring and shading with red, yellow, and blue. I own the kit. I'm sure I'll have a lifetime to figure out how exactly I want to do that. I Will Never Desert You. A little bit more simple. This, I heat embossed the background directly on just because I wanted to see how that would look in silver, and I thought it came out really lovely. So basically the same thing. This is a background that I've inked myself. I inked and fussy cut the desert, adhered it on. This is a VersaFine palm tree. The only thing different I did with this one too is I used one of the sparkly glitter gems that came with the kit. These are really pretty. I just thought that looked really nice, and it brought a little something sweet to it. And again, these are all on black glitter paper for a little shine. You Are My Oasis. Sort of the same thing. I did use the Oasis, the little lake stamp as well. I had some issues with the die on this one. It was almost like the die didn't fit properly all the way around on this one, so this side ended up coming out not good. So I just placed it onto the card in a position where I was going to cut that off anyway so that nobody would see it. I did send some pictures to Hero Arts on their Facebook page to see if maybe I just was not using it right or something. I haven't heard anything back from them, but hopefully it's just user error. And they have some advice for me on how to place it. I've never had an issue with placing a die properly before. It just seemed no matter which way I tried to place it, one edge or the other was getting cut off, or it wasn't lining up properly to get all of the little bumps properly at the bottom. But anyway, so, and I stamped some camels in the background, and we have a camel having a drink of water in the Oasis. The sentiment and the camel are propped up with some foam dots. I like this one. I love the combinations of the inks to make these night backgrounds. These inks, by the way, these Hero Art inks that came with the kit, I absolutely love them. They go on so smooth and they blend like a champ. Dare I even say that these blend better than the original Distress inks. I hope that they come out with a whole line of them because I will be the first one queued up for them. Okay, one more or two more, second to last. I had some leftover glitter paper pieces from cutting all the backgrounds, and it was just enough to cut out the... I just dropped a roll of tape. It was just enough to cut out the die for the door, the fancy door die that came with the original kit. So I used it up. I used that glitter paper and I cut it out and I made this sparkly little door. This one is Life is an Adventure. I had this kind of, they're flying over the castle kind of feel to this. I'm not sure if I nailed it or not, but I certainly had a lot of fun with this card. I decided to put a little scene in the window here, so I used some of the jar and lamp stamps that come with the kit and decided to put them in the window, which I used a light yellow cardstock back there, and I covered it with some vellum to kind of make it look like there was a light on in the room, but there was a curtain hanging. So we've just got like a hanging lamp and a couple of vases down here, and they're kind of just flying over the castle. I do like this one. I did, to get this glitter paper, this is Recollections glitter paper with the Hero Arts. I did have to use multiple shims to get it to cut through this glitter paper. My Cuttlebug has been, it seems like it's kind of been declining with its function. It is on my wish list to upgrade to something that's better and electronic even, because my shoulders, I have a hard time with the manual crank, but for now I'm making do with the Cuttlebug. I had used multiple shims and multiple passes back and forth to get it through, and I did use, for the first time, I used my Spellbinders Tool-in-One to get the little bits out of it. It worked great, so I'm really happy that I chose to invest in that, even though it was too late to get it for my sister's wedding invitations, but it worked really great with that. And then I had just a little poker tool to get out all the little bits or whatever. But I thought this one came out really cool, and I liked it so much that I did a second one that was a little bit more simple, kind of along the same lines. Same thing, the little leftover piece of glitter paper. I cut the window. I've got a light yellow background with some vellum over it to make it look like a curtain. And this one I chose the sentiment, "You Light Up the Night," and I used the lamps. They had 3 hanging lamps in this stamp set, and I used all 3 of them, and I just did some very basic, I didn't even bother with shading on those because I knew that they were going to be covered with the vellum and nobody could ever really tell anyway. I just did some very basic coloring with that, and I used some of the star stamps that came with the kit, and again, we've just got some Nuvo drops and some white gel pen. But that is it. Technically, again, I made 10 cards. One of them I've already given away. So here are 9 cards and matching envelopes that I use the stencil that I love to go with it. Most of these are probably going to go up in my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in them, you can take a look there in the next month or so. And that is what I have for the Hero Arts Kit of the Month card share. I'm looking forward to doing more, but right now I'm working on some other projects. I kind of got the ideas that I wanted to get out of my head, and I had some playtime with it over the last couple of days. Now I need to move on and work on and work on some other new and fabulous stuff that I have. But I am definitely looking forward to cracking this out again. And I already think that some of these scene building things will come in handy with some other projects that I have going on in the future. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, that is what I got. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again later. Bye-bye.